Hey folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier. Haven't done one of these in a while. This will be a live interactive. Yes, it's live. What is it? August 23rd, 24th. The days just come and go so quickly. For pro wrestling fans, this is going to be one for you. This is a discussion of this John Moxley. As you probably know by now, or spoilers if you didn't watch Dynamite tonight, but John Moxley has in fact won the undisputed AEW Championship unification match. He was the interim champion, and that's kind of why I'm labeling this as an interim. Mike Messier, it's an inside joke for those that are watching AEW. And yeah, he defeated in convincing fashion good old CM Punk. And so I'm not too surprised at this. Is this CM Punk's exit from AEW? Is he going back to retirement? Did he get the money that he needed to be comfortable again? You know, look, I don't know the financial standing of CM Punk, but I'm sure the last year with AEW was a good financial thing for him. He had some great matches, CM Punk, in his AEW tenure over the last year, but let's be honest, he didn't have too many matches, and he was injured with the foot injury, and he did look sluggish or a little bit, ring weary at certain points in his tenure. But I think this last year was good for CM Punk. If he's done, he's done. We've got some comments here. Hey, Juan, what's up, buddy? Haven't seen you on here in a while. I haven't done one of these in a while. Looks like AEW can't hit 1 million anymore and could be cut by Discovery. So was TNT then bought by Discovery? I guess they were, right? Or they merged or whatever. Anything could happen. I mean, that's true, Juan, but you got to remember that despite the relatively low numbers for people like yourself and myself that have been watching wrestling, we can remember the Attitude Era where you had 7s and 6s and 5s. Hey, D-Back, good to see you again here, buddy. Let's see. It's going good. I'm on location. I'm in Vero Beach, Florida. Try to catch this from the beginning. Crazy event that took place. What's the main event decision for All Out? I don't think, the funny thing is All About Wrestling podcast, which is a great podcast. I've been on there as a guest. I don't know. I kind of went to the restroom and I heard them calling out the matches. So if anyone wants to write that in, did they say that there's a main event for All Out, or is it just, I'm guessing that next week there'll be some clarification if it's going to be some type of, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a 3-way match somehow, or maybe they bring MJF in next week, or Hangman Page sets a challenge to good old Moxley. I could see any number of those things happening. I think this was really a show where this is really a show tonight's Dynamite, which was like, hey, let's hurry up and book some matches for our upcoming pay-per-view. You know what I mean? It was almost like a desperation thing. At times I felt a little sad for the live audience because they were seeing so many promos, but I guess by the end of the night, they had that nice 6-man tag with Will Ospreay and Pac and Ray Phoenix and everybody. Nope, I swear I had the idea MJF was waiting in the back to get involved. Yeah, I'm trying to, modern technologies, folks. I'm trying to, Jesus H. I'm just trying to do something and it's upsetting me. God in heaven. I'm turning the television. I was trying to rewind and watch the Moxley CM Punk match again, but unfortunately, I don't know how to use remote control at my advanced age. So I guess we're not going to be able to rewatch that match right now. But basically, it seemed to me what happened is apparently the word is that Tony Khan called a big meeting together with all the talent. That's kind of what the Acclaimed rap was about. He called this big meeting together and basically laid down some thoughts for everybody. Yeah, it was kind of a Punk Moxley squash. My feeling, guys, is this. I have a feeling that CM Punk just didn't want to wrestle anymore, that either him and Tony Khan legitimately had some issues with each other or Hangman Page or whatever. And, Punk basically said, hey, look, I'll go out there. I'll put over Moxley clean, 1, 2, 3 in the middle. My but if you've ever listened to Shane Douglas, the franchise Shane Douglas, he references what he calls the but, which basically is like a good guy can lose, but he always has to have a but. But the photographer clicked his camera and a fireball went in my face. Hulk Hogan, King of the Ring 93, losing to Yokozuna. But I lost my world heavyweight title to Bob Backlund, but my younger brother threw in the towel on my behalf, even though I didn't want him to. Bret Hart, Survivor Series 94. I could go on all week with examples of the but. So basically, CM Punk's but is that he came back too soon from injury. His foot was hurt, and he didn't wrestle his best match. So that kind of leaves a nice door open that if some of this heat, if it's legitimate, if it's not just storyline shtick, for CM Punk to have a but if he ever wants to come back to AEW, if they want to put him on the shelf for a few months, if they want to put him, what's this thing? There's a lot of things going on here. But basically, if they want to do something in the future with him, they can. But yeah, it was kind of a squash match. You're right. And I think that's also why they gave it to us on free TV. If they had held on to this match for a pay-per-view, everybody would be disappointed. We saw Hangman Page and Omega, go 30, 35 minutes. We saw Hangman Page and Bryan Danielson, I think. That was a main event on a pay-per-view, I believe. We've seen a lot of stuff happen, or a few TV shows. We're used to these AEW epic 30-minute main events. So, I mean, if CM Punk wasn't feeling that, if he either wasn't up for it, or if he and Moxley couldn't get along well enough, or whatever, better to just do this 5-minute squash match for free. For most of us, it was free. The only people that paid are the ones in the arena. And they still get to see the title change, and then you save whatever you can throw together for this pay-per-view. It could be Will Ospreay versus Jon Moxley. You could do a lot of things. You could have is Claudio defending the ROH title at this pay-per-view? If not, they could work him into the thing somehow. So there's still a lot of possibilities. I've already gotten my movie theater ticket, not to the live show of All Out, but I bought a ticket for the movie theater to watch it on September 4th. I'm looking forward to it because we're going to crown a new interim Mike Messier. Makes sense, which is why it isn't the main event, red flag. Why it wasn't the main event, red flag. Yeah, you talk about the Punk Moxley thing. It wasn't the main event because, just like WWE does, and pretty much most wrestling promotions, most of the time, you do want to leave your fans happy. In some ways, the buying customer. Sometimes they don't do that. I mean, I was at an AEW taping the night that the Pinnacle was formed, and they beat the crap out of the Inner Circle, and the fans weren't happy, but that was the end of the show. There was no matches after that, right? So, but for this, you're right. They had to give the fans this wild and wacky 6-man tag team match to end the night, to end the show. And I guess they probably do Rampage tapings right after Dynamite. I could be wrong, but I think that's what they do tonight. That's what they're doing tonight. So very interesting. When you say could have been 20 minutes, Juan, do you mean the CM Punk Moxley match? Yeah, like I said, buddy, if Punk, I'm not saying that I'm not trying to say that Punk was legitimately hurt. I don't believe that. I just think he was disinterested in wrestling any longer than he had to. And out of respect to AEW for the money they've put into him, Juan says, yes, that's what he meant. I think it was kind of Punk's call, like, hey, I will get pinned 1, 2, 3 in the middle. I'll do the right thing on my way out, but I'm going to, have my but, like Shane Douglas says, of my bad foot. That's just my thoughts. And to be honest, I kind of had a feeling that this was going to happen ever since they announced this thing for Dynamite. It just seemed a little weird that they weren't saving it for the pay-per-view. And, these things happen, guys. I mean, we've been around the block with wrestling promotions. as fans. We know that there can be heated egos and a lot of passive aggression. I don't think people talk about that enough because they don't realize what it is. But I think when I say passive aggression, I mean like the locker room stuff, the cliques that the wrestlers have. Guys, not taking too much time in the ring or whatever. It's passive aggression in some ways. Is Punk taking his ball and going home? Well, I think if you think about it, buddy, I mean, wasn't it a year ago? Wasn't it August of 2021? Around this time, just about a year ago, that Punk came in. So I'm guessing this is not news. This is just speculation. And maybe the true answer is online somewhere. I'm thinking maybe CM Punk had a 1-year agreement with Tony Khan. And if we're coming up where they're coming up on the 1-year end point, then they might as well just call it a day. Hey, Punk came in. He did what he wanted to do. He helped get some young guys over. Yes, he beat many of them. He beat Powerhouse Hobbs. He beat Darby Allin. But the rub, so to speak, of being in the ring with him helped these guys in their careers, I would say. And you had a couple of dream matches. You had your CM Punk Hangman Page, which I still say that was a good match. There was some flubbery in that. But maybe it's time that Punk just doesn't feel like he's capable or wants to wrestle anymore. And he's going to go home. And I'm okay with that. In my opinion, it's kind of like, not to compare him in any way to Tom Brady, but Tom Brady, if he wants to retire, he can retire. If he wants to come back, he can come back. Interesting. You're very upset about this All About Wrestling podcast, I believe from Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken. Terrible stain on the company from this. My opinion, very transparent with backstage issues and no resolution, really. Ratings had a tank after that. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Do you mean that the ratings of tonight's show went down after the Punk Moxley match? I don't know, because I think a lot of like the hardcore AEW fans are going to want to watch Will Ospreay and Pac in a 6-man tag. Hey, Carl, what's going on, buddy? Carl and I are overdue to do a interview. Maybe we'll do it in the next week, buddy. I'm on location in Vero Beach, but I will have some free time. So I'll send you a message on Skype. I'm doing fine. I had a long 3-hour drive today, gentlemen. I drove from Jacksonville, Florida, here to Vero Beach, Florida. What I like about Florida is it's a big state, so there's always something new to explore. And I do like Vero Beach. It's a nice area. Hey, my buddy Javier's checking in. Good guy. Javier Oist, I believe it's pronounced. I hate to get everyone's names wrong, but good to see you, Javier. We're discussing, of course, the AEW tonight and any other topics you guys want to talk about. I want to be honest here. I haven't really watched a whole lot of the Triple H regime of Raw or SmackDown. You guys are more than invited to put your opinions there. And I'll, my friend AJ on Facebook has been demanding that I give the WWE another shot because of Triple H, and I haven't done it yet. I did watch SummerSlam, though, and I did enjoy it. As soon as they say we will stick with this match for as long as we can, equals ratings under 1 million happens all the time. Well, good point. I mean, here's the thing, guys. We get caught up as fans. We get caught up on the 1 million thing or the 2 million thing or comparing the ratings of 2022 to the ratings of 1999. But the reality is, in the market of advertising and all those decisions that go with the advertising for TNT and everything, do they get hung up if it's 900,000 versus a million, 1,000? Does it matter to them that much? I don't know. Definitely see a positive change. I believe you're talking about the Triple H regime. Hey, thanks, buddy. You know who gave me this haircut, William? Myself. Yes. It's kind of my ode to Brian Knobs of the Nasty Boys, but I might have to do a video about this. I did do one little crappy one, but I am so I'm just sick of paying $40 or $30 or 25 or 27 for a haircut for most of my adult life. I had this vision, gentlemen, and I was in a CVS, to be exact, and they had a little hair cutting kit, which was basically a pair of like really sharp scissors and then one of those like thinning scissors. $15. I bought this thing. I also have that CVS yearly pass thing. You pay $50 up front, and you basically get $10 for 12 months of the year. It's kind of fun. You got to remember to go there every month. And so I use that, thing to take $10 off the price. And since December of 2021, I've been my own hair cuttery guy. I'm my own hairstylist now. And people give me more compliments with my haircuts now than I ever did before, paying these god-awful prices for these overpriced haircuts. Well, Javier, I will be watching. I'm not sure if I'll be watching in live time, but I will watch the whole shows. You know why? I actually put the money down. I put the $50 in, I think, for the NWA All Access Pass, the yearly subscription. And guess what? They came through and they sent me my Crockett Cup t-shirt. And guys, if you really want to get hardcore with Mike Messier, you might want to watch my Crockett Cup Memories video here on Subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel under my Wrestling Memories, because I actually have been to a Crockett Cup, and it wasn't 2022. It was way before that. Okay, so we're talking about NWA. I will be watching. I actually, believe it or not, I talked to Flip Gordon about 2 weeks ago, because Flip and I were on a set together. And when Flip showed up, we've met in the past. We met on another movie set called Vault, directed by my friend Tommy DiNucci. My friend David Gear got me this acting gig. He got Flip the acting gig. And we recognized each other. And I said, hey, Flip, didn't I see you on NWA recently? And he said, no, I haven't been there yet, but I just got booked to wrestle Nick Aldis at the next pay-per-view. So I had an inside scoop. Out of respect to Flip, of course, I didn't take away that announcement from the NWA. If you go to MikeMessier.com, click on my blog, you'll see something that's called like a Blunt Henchman is the post. And there's pictures of me and Flip from the movie set. So Flip will be taking on Nick Aldis. Guess what, folks? I think that's the main event. I mean, in my opinion, Javier, that's the main event. Carl wants to do a video. You had some good ideas, Carl. I think they were like maybe best Clint Eastwood movies. If you like Clint Eastwood movies, Carl, let's go with best Clint Eastwood movies. Did we do that before? I don't think we did. Maybe we did, buddy. We did like best Jean-Claude Van Damme movies or something, but do best Clint Eastwood movies, because I know a lot of Clint Eastwood movies. Trevor Murdoch, here's the deal, guys. This match, Trevor Murdoch versus Tyrus, I really am not interested in that. I don't consider those two guys, no offense. I'm out of shape. I mean, I can admit it, but I mean, I'm not wrestling for a living. So, I mean, when I see Trevor Murdoch and Tyrus, you might think that, oh, I'm cheering for these guys. I'm really not. Trevor Murdoch, I respect his respect for the business. I respect the fact that he was trained by Harley Race. I've actually been watching a lot of the NWA first year. I got this Blu-ray disc set from a friend of mine that has all the NWA tapings from their very first year. And I do respect Trevor Murdoch's career. He started as like stand-up in the TNA. He was so thin and young back then. And he did go to WWE and won a tag team title. And I feel bad that his friend passed away, his tag team partner. So I do have sympathy or empathy for Trevor Murdoch. But as far as him being the NWA World Heavyweight Champion 2 times, when you've got Nick Aldis in this company, I tend to disagree with that. I just listened to Kurt Angle's podcast with Nick Aldis on the Ad-Free Show platform. And it was a very good interview. And I've actually read Nick Aldis's book. I guess I should read it again to get more motivated. But I like Nick Aldis. I think he's a classy guy. He reminds me of Nick Bockwinkel, the AWA World Champion back then. I'd rather see Nick Aldis and Flip Gordon have an NWA World Heavyweight title match. No offense to Tyrus or whatever the fuck. I just don't see that match it's just going to be a laborious an affair. Maybe Matt Cardano, whatever the fuck. Maybe him and Chelsea come in the ring and break the thing up. I am curious who's Camille going to wrestle Javier at the NWA show, because I think Camille is a star. of pro wrestling that I think she could be big time anywhere, and she's in the NWA. What else is going on in the world of wrestling, gentlemen? We've got this All Out show. You watched the movie Prey on TV. I did see a couple of movies recently. I saw, I won't, no spoilers here, but I'll tell you that a movie that I did like a lot, which I haven't done my review video yet, but I should do it soon. The Lion movie. What's the movie? The lion, the scare, or the scream, or whatever. The movie with the lion that's out now. I just saw that. And then Roar, was it called? No, was it called like Lion or Roar or whatever the fuck? It's like a one-word name for a movie. And then I saw some other movie. What did I see? It was just like yesterday. I saw Emily the Criminal, which was pretty good. Andrew with the save. Thanks, buddy. Beast, I give a thumbs up. I probably give that a really big thumbs up. And I give Emily the Criminal like a 3/4 thumbs up, like an Orange Cassidy thumbs up. But I give the big thumbs up for Beast. If you like suspense, you like action. I'm not going to give anything else away, but this is a really good movie. Big screen movie, great audio, good story, and a lot of action and effects. Great stuff. So go see Beast if you like that type of stuff. I did watch, and I think Carl will appreciate this, I watched Orphan on Amazon Prime. I hate watching movies at home, but I did because I was like, what's this Orphan First Kill thing? That looks pretty good. But then it's like, oh, whenever you see that colon in a movie title, you're like, I missed the first one. So I need to go back and watch the first one. I can't go see I did the same thing with Doctor Strange. I had to watch it on TV. So I watched Orphan in the comfort of my own home. Carl enjoys Prey. That's good. And you're right, by the way. I watched Orphan at home, and so I got the story. I really like that Orphan movie from 2013. Vera Farmiga is just hot. She's just a sexy woman actress, and I like her in pretty much everything she does. The first time I saw her, she was in that movie with George Clooney on the airplane. And but I just really like Vera as an actress. I just think she's great, and she does like the horror movies too, right? What does she do? The Conjuring movies or whatever the fuck? Yeah, she's in those. I'm trying to find the plug here to plug in this computer so we don't lose power. I just want to hang with you, gentlemen, as long as we can, as long as we have something to talk about. You always got to find your power cord. Watch this. Feeling that? I just plugged this in. Prey was a great movie. I have to see that. I heard good things about this She-Hulk thing. What's that, on Netflix or what? The She-Hulk Attorney at Law? Taya Valkyrie. And here's the thing, Javier, because I do pay attention. That last NWA pay-per-view, the one that had the A in the name of it, and the Dexter Lumis guy was actually there for the NWA title in that 4-man match at the end. But Taya Valkyrie lost her match on that show to that Russian chick. So it's kind of like, why would you have Taya lose that match and now get a title match? And I guess I'll be honest, I haven't been watching NWA every week, so I don't know if she ever avenged that defeat or if that other chick left, the Russian one. So Carl likes Prey more than Predator from 2018. You know what, Andrew? I did see E.T. in IMAX as well, buddy. I saw that in my travels in, believe it or not, Fayetteville, North Carolina. I went to go see E.T. on I think a Saturday night, and there wasn't many people in the theater, which was good. Maybe it was a Sunday night. It was a Sunday night at 7 that I saw E.T. on my way back down from New England to Florida, and I really liked E.T. And there was a lot of things. I did a review of that, actually. I did Mike's Instant Movie Review on E.T. right here on this subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel. I talked all about it. How everyone was kind of creeping on Mom, which I forgot about. But all like, and there's C. Thomas Howell, the guy that was Ponyboy Curtis, is an E.T. And So yeah, they're all kind of perving on Mom. Even ET was perving on Mom, which I thought was a little disturbing. How about that? AEW had their Goldberg Hogan Georgia Dome match. Laugh out loud. Well on their way to oblivion. Very good. Javier sorry, buddy. She-Hulk's on Disney Plus. By the way, gentlemen, if anyone feeling froggy and you want to hop, if anyone wants to be on tonight and join we're going to talk wrestling, though. We're not going to talk about everything in the world. But if anyone wants to jump on, just write something in the comment and I'll send you an invite. I'll need an email address to send you an invite and I'll get you on here because I don't mind talking to another human being if anyone's up for it. I know Javier is always a well-spoken guy. And Adam's a well-spoken guy. Hey, my buddy Dan's a well-spoken guy. Dan, we can flip the script a little bit, and you can be on the Mike Messier, subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel, Dan of Dan and Benny in the Ring. They've hosted me several times. I always enjoy being with those gentlemen. My buddy Benny Scala actually wrote the advanced praise for my novel Fighter Play Basketball, which I always appreciate. Here's the thing, and my friend, another Facebook buddy of mine, was saying this, Eric. He was saying that Moxley is getting a lot of heat online from wrestling fans that don't like the fact that he bleeds. To me, that's weird. That's like a weird criticism. And Eric said that was weird too. It's like you're giving the guy shit because he's actually cutting himself open for your enjoyment. I mean, are you going to give Abdul the Butcher a hard time? Dusty, Flair? I mean, Hogan. A lot of Hogan's first year matches as WWF champion against Dr. D. David Schultz and matches like that, Hogan was bleeding a lot. So are you going to give those guys of the past a hard time for bleeding? Magnum TA and Tully Blanchard? I mean, I got to say this, guys. If you haven't watched Magnum TA versus Tully Blanchard, Starrcade 85, please watch it because you're doing yourself a disservice because once you've seen that type of brutality in pro wrestling, but told in a very good way, dramatic way, you don't have the same patience, for the Kenny Omega wrestling a plastic doll in Japan or the super young bucks super kicking 9-year-olds. Some of the things I've been angry about for the last 5 years or so are because I was a young man, but I lived through some of the very best wrestling ever. In fact, two waves, okay, the late 80s and the late 90s. I experienced some of the best wrestling in the world. So now when I see things that aren't up to that, I get upset. But I've been doing less of the wrestling talk because I'm trying to be a calm, peaceful human being. But when I start talking about things in wrestling, I can get kind of livid. But anyway, it seems like there's a lot of controversy with this Jon Moxley stuff, Dan. So I don't know what to say. I mean, I know I have a really good friend. He's actually my podcast partner or broadcast partner on All In Action, our filmmaking broadcast. But Tommy DiNucci really doesn't like Jon Moxley either. So a lot of people, this guy, he feels like a janitor or he feels like just a ripoff of Stone Cold. I guess for some reason, I like Moxley a little bit more than that. One of the best things I saw Moxley do was on the reality show, the Total Divas show. Believe it or not, I was watching, sorry. And I saw him and Renee, his wife. They were at dinner with Renee's parents and some dude, they were seated outdoor at an outdoor restaurant. And Moxley's there, Renee, there's cameras there, obviously. And so I don't know if they set this up or what, but somebody walked by them and some dude grabbed Renee Young's hat off her head and went away, kept walking, thinking he could just steal a woman's hat off her head. And Moxley stood up, jumped over the fence, chased the guy down, and got the hat back. And then he went back to the family, and Renee was all embarrassed, thinking he shouldn't have done that. But her father was all impressed because this guy had just defended his daughter. The man that took his daughter was defending him. So he won over the old man. Now, guess what? All that stuff could have been bullshit. That could have been reality show magic where they set up the whole fucking thing. But at the time, I thought it was legitimate. So I guess I kind of like Moxley because of that, because he stood up for his little wife. I think they should have brought Renee Young into the CM Punk John Moxley thing, because if you might recall, when CM Punk had his like cup of coffee as a WWE talking head on that show that nobody watched a couple of years ago, like 2019. Remember when CM Punk came in for like 2 or 3 months on that confidential show? Renee Young was the one that kind of had the credit for setting that up. I think they should have worked that into the Punk storyline here with Mox. Like, hey, why are you talking to my wife, etc. Javier, I didn't forget about you, buddy, and I've got some more comments. AJ Norris, I gave you a shout out earlier, buddy. Natalia Markova is the Russian girl you're talking about. Winner between Taya and Camille on day 2 goes against winner of gauntlet match between like 9 women going on in day 1. Okay, I can live with that. So would that be so is Taya and Camille on day 2, and then the gauntlet for the 9 women's on day 1, and then when will the 2 winning women wrestle at like a future pay-per-view or the next NWA TV taping? But interesting. Or are you saying that Taya and Camille wrestle on night 1, and then the winner of that faces the winner of the 9-woman gauntlet on night 2? Punk is quitting AEW. Yeah, I was saying that, AJ. I think this could have been Punk's way of graciously exiting, exit stage left. He loses clean, 1, 2, 3 in the middle, but his out, or like Shane Douglas says, his but my foot was injured. So CM Punk gets to leave, with loses clean, but has a reason to come back if they ever want him to come back. And I just have a feeling, I could be wrong. I mean, Punk could show up at the next pay-per-view, or he could show up whenever the fuck, and we go, oh my God, CM Punk's back. But I just feel like maybe this last year was all he wanted to do. He got the money. I'm guessing maybe $750,000 or $1 million. That's just a guess that CM Punk got for the last year's worth of work. And then if you think about the T-shirts and the hoodies and everything else, he probably came away from this year with more than $1 million. And if you live modestly, like most of us probably do, $1 million goes a long way. So I'm thinking CM Punk might just be happy to be done with it, and he just put over Moxley, and he shakes Tony Khan's hand, and they go their separate ways. And I'm okay with that. I'm not upset about it. Mikey, do you believe WWE heat on Macho Man? You sent me a link earlier, and I think I've seen this before. I've been driving all day, AJ. I drove 3 hours today, so I didn't get a chance to watch everything yet. But something to the effect of, I know that he slapped Gorgeous George in the face. Some people are bringing that up from an old Nitro. No, actually, it was Tori Wilson. He slapped Tori Wilson because she was laughing at him, yelling at Gorgeous George. I guess I'll have to look into more of that, buddy. As far as the Macho Man, if you're talking about the Stephanie McMahon stuff, your guess is as good as mine. I mean, let's put it this way. Macho Man, if you think about it, he's not that far apart from Triple H as far as body dimensions, like a big, crazy wrestler. So who knows? Yes, Taya is challenging NWA Women's Champion Camille on day 1. On day 2, winner of that faces winner of 9-woman gauntlet from day 1. And I kind of like that, Javier. I like that style of booking, because what they're doing is they're giving you a little hook to come back for the second night. And I've actually been watching the NWA 73, not last year, not 74 coming up, but NWA 73. I've been watching that, and that was a 2-night affair. So I watched the whole women's show, and then I'm trying to catch up to speed with the rest of the men's show the second night. Yeah, Dan, I don't think CM Punk's going. I mean, I get you. You're joking, man, and I get the joke. I just, but I mean, let's take it seriously for a second, because that could always be a possibility. I mean, look, if Cody is showed up at WWE with his WWE smile on, after they put him in the Stardust outfit, after they humiliated his own father with the polka dots, after his brother did the god-awful Dusty Rhodes impersonations and the Shaft stuff. If Cody is willing to go to WWE, could you imagine CM Punk coming back? I guess I could. I mean, for all the shit that he's talked about Triple H, and now Triple H has even more power, I don't see it happening. But like those assholes always say, anything is possible in the World Wrestling Federation. Okay, yeah, and I was mentioning this earlier, AJ, that I did put you over saying that you've been telling me I've got to give WWE another shot. I really haven't. I watched SummerSlam. I was very impressed with the main event, especially. Two matches that stood out were kind of the beginning match, Bianca and Becky. I really liked the whole way the ring looked and everything. I kind of did like Bayley's little bad girl troupe at the end. And then the main event of Brock and Roman was really quite good. And I wasn't really looking forward to those two guys wrestling another main event on a pay-per-view, but to give them credit, they found ways to do things differently, and they had a good match. So, and the ring getting upturned or whatever was pretty cool. Let's see. Well, nobody took me up on my offer to be a co-guest or whatever the fuck. That's okay, guys. I mean, it's all right. We're all doing our thing here. AJ's got some more points. Buzz from Home Alone in deep trouble in New York with rape charges, Mikey. Happy jail time, you filthy animal. I don't know anything about that. You know what I watched on YouTube today was the guy from Nickelodeon. Was his name Dan Schneider? Like he was on. I remember him from Head of the Class. That's going way, way back. But I guess this guy was like, he did a lot of shows that you guys might have watched, the iCarlys and all these other fucking shows on Nickelodeon. And then I guess he kind of got Me Too'd into oblivion. And people were saying that he was sexualizing some of the children on the shows. And they showed clips of like it looked like a teenage girl with her kind of like a bikini top getting sprayed down with water. And they said that he had a foot fetish. It's a whole YouTube video. I'm laughing because it's so absurd and it's disgusting. That's why I'm laughing. It's just sad. I mean, the whole world is fucked up. We know that. But this Dan Schneider guy, he buried himself. So Buzz from Home Alone, well, I don't know what to say. I mean, I think that people that do things to children are sick and disgusting. And obviously they don't deserve sympathy. There's some TED Talk on YouTube about how the TED Talk says this, I don't say this, that we're supposed to think of these pedophiles as having some type of, they're born that way. They're born attracted to children. So we should understand that, not, and I just don't know about that. I mean, I really don't. I mean, that's like saying somebody's born to be a murderer. And I don't agree with that either. Or someone's born to be a crook, a criminal. Mikey, Invitation movie looked good. Hope you enjoy it. That's the new horror movie, I believe. It looked like a vampire thing. I've seen the preview 3 or 4 times, buddy. I did put over Beast. We talked about that earlier. Now I've got the story up here, buddy, from Radar Online. Home Alone star Devin Rattray, who played Buzz McAllister, investigated for alleged rape. That's not nice. I don't remember this character. He was probably a kid actor at the time, right? But I don't remember the character. I have seen Home Alone. Yeah, I mean, I think I've. Oh boy, I'm reading the article, guys. That's why you see my eyes moving. This is sad stuff. He denies her out. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, he's denying it. She's saying he did it. And what are the police saying? He's investigated. So it's not that he's been charged yet, I guess, but he's under investigation. It's not a good look. And here's the thing also. These type of, it goes both ways. The act is bad. The act of sexual assault, rape, molestation, all that's horrible. And then the accusation, if it's not truthful, is just as bad or almost as bad. I should say almost. It's not as bad, but it's very bad to accuse someone of doing stuff like that if they haven't done it. I don't know this case, so I don't know if he did it. I obviously wasn't there. If he did do it, I hope that he gets what's coming to him. And but what if he didn't do it? I mean, that's even when I'm saying that, my first reaction is, well, I hope he gets what's coming to him. But what if he didn't fucking do it? Then how do you restore this guy's reputation? And nobody has an answer for that fucking riddle. Just like no one has an answer for the fucking abortion riddle. We all, you can say abortion kills children and so forth, which it does. But at the same time, what if there's a threat of death to the mother? Or, what if you have that rape asterisk? Like, hey, no abortions unless it was because of a rape. Well, what happens if the woman says, "Oh yeah, I was raped," just because she wants to get the abortion, and then are you gonna prosecute every guy who knocks up a chick now if she wants to fucking have the abortion? Who knows? He just had that cameo in the new Home Alone. Yeah, see, I guess I don't know the guy too much. Mikey heard Vince McMahon and Trump might go to jail together. I saw a little something about that too, AJ. And look, I hate to put myself over. Actually, I don't. Because if you look at 2017, 2018, 2019, speaking with Vince Russo, I was way ahead of the fucking curve on all this WWE Trump stuff. My video, if you support WWE or NXT, you also support Donald Trump. I got so much goddamn heat from that. No DQ. Thanks. They put that video on their fucking thing. I got like many, many views on that video rant. And everyone thought I was an asshole. So many fucking thumbs down on that video. But I think I've been proven validated, okay? So I hate to say it, but a lot of times I'm more intelligent than most people out there. That's just fucking reality. I'm more attuned to things in the goddamn world because I pay fucking attention and I take mental notes, okay? So yeah, look, these I hate to, fuck. Here we go. If you watch any of this January 6th stuff, the footage, the fact that 2 or 3 police officers were killed in this horrible thing, the 3 or 4 of the protesters were killed, or rioters, don't even call it, insubordinates or insurrectionists. Okay, Dan. Okay. Good night, Dan. See you, buddy. But these insurrectionists, if they're going to dictate to us, tell your wife we said hi. If they're going to dictate to us what's happening, I just don't buy it. So I say prosecute them and see what the fuck happens. Mikey, your thoughts of WWE putting Val Venus in the Hall of Fame? That would be sick. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Now that they're supposedly not the PG era anymore, I guess it would be time to bring in Val Venus. He's, of course, I believe he's like a right-wing extremist, isn't he? Like, doesn't Val get a lot of heat on Twitter land? Which I kind of respect, to be honest with you. I don't know what he's saying on there, but anyone who gets heat on Twitter, I kind of like that. I think it's good to fuck with people on these social media platforms. Here's the thing for me, guys. I'm a little bit older than most of you probably. So for me, social media has always been a performance art. It's always been like, I'm not the real guy who's on the fucking computer. Like my computer social media presence is not who the fuck I am if you were to meet me down the street, And I just think that these days with all these fucking catchwords that are so full of shit, transparency and being vulnerable, fuck off. I don't want to be transparent and I don't want to be vulnerable. I think that's bullshit. I think what people do is they overshare because they don't want to go to therapy. They want the fucking computer people to be their fucking therapist when they should go to a goddamn therapist or have a friend or talk to yourself or whatever the fuck. But I just think all this transparency is bullshit and people put way too much information out there, especially on platforms like Facebook, putting way too much info for the world about your family and about who's doing what and who's got an illness and all that shit. When COVID first started and people were posting, oh, if you haven't heard from my friend lately, it's because he's got COVID. I was like, don't fucking out people if they have a fucking illness or a virus. If they want to talk about it, let them talk about it. I don't know. But them putting Val Venus in, I've got no problem with that. I think he was a European champion, an Intercontinental champion. I don't think Val had the tag team title. He certainly didn't have the world title. He certainly did not have the Western States Heritage title or the AEW Trios tag team title. But, he did have the Intercontinental title. And he had that great match with Rikishi. Remember that? When Rikishi jumped off the top of the cage? like the middle of the cage with the splash on Val. I don't have a problem with that. I think that would be interesting. I think Val Venus, he also came back. What did he come back in, like the 2004, 2002 era? He was kind of like Eric Bischoff's assistant, general manager on Raw. And I thought Val Venus was fine. He also did the Right to Censor, which is probably more like how Val is in real life. So, I mean, I think that's okay. If they put Val in, that's fine. I have a feeling you're kind of making mention of this because of the whole Twitter stuff that he does. But I don't know. All right, guys, if you have any more comments, please do. So we've got this NWA 74 to look forward to. Javier Oyst is excited. Dan is with his wife. Michael A.J. Norris. Carl has gone. I don't know if Carl's gone. But I do appreciate everyone stopping by. As far as me goes, I'll be actually filming something this week. Just a proof of concept video, very short. Very low-key production, but it should be very good once it's completed. And like I said, all my books, my film book, if you're looking to get involved in filmmaking or acting or whatever the fuck, on a low-budget level, everyone's got to start somewhere. My book is great for beginners. And just go to MikeMessier.com and scroll to the bottom, and then the link is right there. That's the easiest way. Instead of me rattling off all this bullshit about links, just go to MikeMessier.com, scroll to the bottom of any page on there, and you see all my social media links, the Stand Me on Social, the books, etc. If anyone else has any more comments, I'll give you about a minute. Otherwise, I'm going to go back to my drink of choice tonight. I've really been getting into these flavored, I thought this was a water, but maybe it's a soda. Yeah, I think this is actually a soda I'm drinking. No, it's too bad. I thought I was drinking water. Contains alcohol. Well, fuck, no wonder. I thought this was a water the whole time. It's got 3.2% alcohol by volume. No wonder I'm having a good time. Shit, that's funny. I thought I was drinking a seltzer water, and I'm not. Oh, well. Very good. That's funny. Yeah. Yeah, fall is coming soon. I hope so, man. This shit is. I thought, dude, does this not look like just a seltzer water? Like, I just thought it was fucking seltzer, but it's not. Man, I'm looking forward to fall, buddy, and winter. In Florida, winter is awesome because I can walk around. I can go into the pool in December. In January, I'm in the fucking pool. No one else is using it. I've got the whole thing to myself. I have, I just like that. I like the fact that I can go into this pool and no one else is using it because I've got the New England blood in me. I've still got my New England blood. I'm walking around in a t-shirt and shorts on Christmas. It feels great. I go to the movie theater in Florida and people bring fucking blankets into the movie theater because the air conditioning makes them cold. So I've kind of got the best of both worlds, folks. I've got that New England toughness in my blood. So I appreciate like the winter and fall in Florida so much more. The June was fucking hot. August is hot. July was hot. I mean, but June and August were really bad this year. All right, gentlemen. Well, I guess I'm going to go back to my alcoholic beverage here. Now I feel bad. I got to drink the goddamn thing. Oh, that's funny. I thought I was being healthy and drinking water. All right, gentlemen. So I'm going to call it a wrap. If you got anything else, I'll go to the 50-minute mark here just to make it a nice 50-minute video. I'll give you 90. You're at 26 seconds to type in something real quick if you want me to address it, and I'll keep going. If not, I'm going to try and watch this Moxley Punk match again, if I could do that on this TV. A friend of mine is letting me stay at this beautiful condo this week for our film production. I'm very appreciative for his privacy. I'm not going to disclose exactly where I'm at, but I do appreciate being here. And we're looking forward to this film thing doing this week. I see that my buddy has all this gear in the room, which is very exciting. And Andrew says, have a good one, Mike. I appreciate that, buddy. Thanks for hanging in. We're going to wrap up unless there's anyone with any pressing thoughts. If not, Carl and I will do something soon. Maybe did we do best Clint Eastwood movies or not? I can't. I think we did best Jean-Claude Van Damme, but I'd be best up for best Clint Eastwood movies, Carl. Unforgiven. I'm not really into the Dirty Harry movies as much as other people are, but I like a lot of Clint Eastwood. Gran Torino, I thought was awesome. And what's the one with the boxing? Hilary Swank. All right, folks, that's it. Thanks for checking in, everybody. Have a great night. And I'll talk to you later. Subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel. Buy one of my books, for Christ's sake. Just go to Wrestling with Sanity. If you just want a little sample, the Wrestling with Sanity on Kindle. Very affordable. It's fun. It's a Kindle book. Good night. And the Pro Wrestling Trivia on Kindle Vella. Look for Mike Messier Pro Wrestling Trivia on Amazon. See ya. Good night.